Okay guys, we are back, and if you've been watching my videos, then you know that recently we set up this ginormous guy right here, the Possessed Pumpkin from Spirit Halloween. You also know that recently a fan named Marcus sent me an awesome original Crouchy, the 7-foot version, not young Crouchy, the giant Crouchy. The significance here between him and the Possessed Pumpkin is that the Crouchy does not have a base or legs. So, today we are going to be taking a look at this ginormous guy right here because he is built on the exact same frame as the original Crouchy. He has all the pieces parts, including the legs and the base, and I have the instructions right here. So I'll be able to take measurements so that I can find the right kind of pipes that I need so that we can build Crouchy a new base and new legs. Okay, so here's how the legs and the base look. That, again, came from the Possessed Pumpkin, but they're the same thing, the exact same build as the Crouchy. So what I need to do is try to recreate this base right here and both of these legs. So here are the pieces taken apart. Now you can see where the legs look like they are, I believe, the exact same shape, both of them. But the base here, each side has a little piece sticking up like this, and this one is at a little different angle than that one over there. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to get it perfect, but I will be able to get it as close to that as possible. And I really don't think it's going to be too difficult to do that. I'm planning on using PVC pipe, and I've worked with PVC pipe in building props before. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy process. So I've been out to Home Depot doing a little bit of shopping, and I'm going to show you what I got here. In this bag alone, I have a whole bunch of PVC angles like this, things like this, all kinds of stuff, some glue to glue it all together. I basically took pictures of all these parts, then I went into Home Depot, and I tried to match up like exactly what I'm going to need here. Like for the corners here, I got these so that it will create a corner going this way, and it will give us a part that comes up. Now, this is at an angle, so I also got these that are about, I don't know, a 30 to 45 degree angle, so it can go right on here and create that angle for this part. So I got those for each side of this, and I got a couple of the 90 degree angles, one for each corner. And of course, I realize I'm gonna have to go back to Home Depot because what I need is this kind of angle here for each corner without threads, so that the other PVC pipes can slide right in. This one does not have a thread on that side, but it does have a thread in there. So now I have to go back to Home Depot and get at least one more of these. But then when we take the foam off of the leg parts, you can see we just need a long straight one. We need one like this to give us a partial turn there, another one like this to give us another partial turn up here, a short straight one, and another straight one. So this really should not be too bad. So the other thing that I got was 4 pieces of this 1/2 inch PVC pipe. Now this stuff, as you can see, is a little flimsier than what is used naturally with this prop. But we're going to be cutting these shorter anyway, and the shorter you cut them, the stronger they get, the less they bend. So when we're done with this, everything should be pretty good. It might have a little sway to it, but it'll work perfectly fine. I got all these marked so I'll know exactly where they're gonna go. I have a couple of extra pieces here, and now I'm gonna get ready to measure and start cutting this to make the edges of the base. So let me just tell you guys, if you ever are going to do anything like this and you're using PVC pipe, get one of these cutters. It's just called a PVC cutter, and the piece just goes right in here, and then you start cutting and it clamps on it, and then you can just keep on pulling. It cuts right through. It's so much better than using any kind of saw. Okay, so we are going to spin this, get it out of the way a little bit, so we can start building this base. Now you remember how I showed you earlier how flimsy this pipe is. Since we've cut it smaller, it's much stronger. there we go. Coming along good so far. I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see what I'm doing with the legs here. So to add these little leg parts on over here, I have to use these two little angled ones and connect them here. But in order to do that, I have to have a small piece of the PVC pipe on each of these to connect it into there. So you can see how this is coming along. We got the whole rectangle base built over here. And then right here, where this piece comes up at an angle, we have attached this piece so that each side will come up at an angle, just like these. Now these are a little bit more of an angle than the actual leg pieces on here, but I think that's going to be okay. So the next thing I want to do here is attach these parts onto here. So I've cut two pieces that are the same size, even though this one is a little bit longer than this. But all we need to do is make this as close as we possibly can with what we have to work with. Now on this one, you'll also notice that there is this little support brace on each side. So I want to make sure that I put that in, because it's obviously there for a reason, just to give a little bit more support when his body is up on these legs. So to create that extra little support, what we're going to do is cut each of these in half, and then I have one of these for each. We're going to connect it right there so we can add another piece here, just like I did right here. That way, when we put these in, we can put another little piece of pipe in here and connect it down here. So here it is so far. It's looking pretty good, but then I just realized something. Crouchy has shoes, and they more than likely have to sit down over this. These are the same style as these, but this is much smaller. So I'm going to have to get his shoes out and see if they will actually fit over that or what I have to do. Okay, yeah, so I have his enormous shoes out here, and as you can see, it fits right over that on the original base. However, when we try to put it on this base, it does not fit. That tube is too far up, and it doesn't really fit on there right. So in messing around with this, I just stuck this piece under here to see if I lifted this up and pushed it a little higher there, would the shoe fit? And put it on top here, and it just about fits. So if we squeeze the plastic, we can make it fit just like that. Okay, that's modified then, and now the feet will actually fit on there. The only thing is that this doesn't actually connect to this part of the pipe down here, but that's all right. I can just duct tape it with that black duct tape. It's either that or else I would have to cut it right there and join it with one of these, so we'd have another part sticking out there. And I really don't think that that is necessary. I mean, the duct tape will do the job, so. So now we'll take one of these connectors, put it on each side like this, and that is how we will connect the legs to the base. All right, so there's the base. It looks pretty much like this, at least as close to this as it's going to be, and I gotta say, I think we did a pretty dang good job with that. And there it is with Crouchy's shoes on it. So this is going to work out really good, guys. I'm really getting excited about this. So I do also have this all-purpose cement here, which I'm going to use to cement all the PVC together. All the joints except right here where the legs are going to connect, because we want to be able to take that apart. And I'm not going to do any of that until I've got all this put together and I know that it's exactly how we need it to be. Because once you use this stuff, there's no going back. All right, next up is the legs. Now, if you look at these, you can see where they are the same size, but they are at a slight different angle up here. Again, we're not going to worry too much about that. I honestly don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. As you can see on the possessed pumpkin down here, the legs are just bent. I mean, there's nothing special. There's nothing extra, that little tweak, and one of them being bent a little bit more than the other, that really does for him. It's just, in the end, he's got his knees bent, and that's all there is to it. So I still think that even though we're not going to be able to exactly replicate these legs. I think it's still going to work and it's going to be perfectly fine. You'll never know once he's set up. Okay, so just like with the base, we have these pieces that I've already labeled. One goes there, one goes there, one goes here, one goes here, and then these two will go at the top, and that is what will connect the torso part. The ends down here do not get connectors because, like I showed you on the base, that's where those are just simply going to pop right in. So that'll be good to go. These will be really easy to make. Yeah, that's a really big difference there with that angle. So I might actually have to get a 90-degree angle to go on here instead of this one. There are the legs as they stand at the moment. Yeah, that's that's a big difference in shape there. Honestly, I don't know if that will matter or not. It might not. But I think, like I said, since I have to go back to Home Depot anyway, because I'm going to be using these on the base, I think I will go ahead and get 90-degree angle connectors to make them shaped more like these legs. And I am so lucky that I have one 5 minutes from my house. It's not perfect, but it's a lot closer to the original shape of the legs than they were when we had these little ones on. Okay, so I got them set up. Not the whole thing, just the legs and the bases. And honestly, it looks pretty dang good. It's just slightly different, as we've been talking about through the entire process. But here's the base and the legs for the possessed pumpkin. And then here is the new base and legs for Crouchy. Now, I already went ahead and put this foam back on these for the knees. But as you can see, they are basically the same shape. If I want to get foam like this to put on these, I could just get some of those pool noodles. In fact, just one of them. Cut it in half and put it on each of the legs. And it'll serve the same purpose of kind of puffing up the pants a little bit as these do. So just to give you a little better of a visual of where we're going with this, I put Crouchy's shoes on so you can see these are his knees coming up here. This is where his butt will be. And then the torso and his head. Now I have also bought some black spray paint so we can spray paint that frame and the base, or at least the base. The legs aren't going to matter, you're not going to see them. But the base, we want that to be black. We don't want that to be white. Okay, it is the next day, and I have glued all this together, as well as brought all the pieces, parts for Crouchy upstairs so we can start building. Now yesterday I started filming again, and I had a little problem because I had not yet glued anything together, which was on purpose, because I wanted to build the whole frame without the clothes and see if this was going to hold it, if it was going to be stable. But once I started building, it started falling apart. Since it wasn't glued, everything started twisting and turning, and it just didn't work. Last night, I went ahead and I glued everything together at all the joints except right here where the top part of the legs connect. And those are in there pretty tight. You can also see that I used the duct tape that I was talking about before on these support braces right here. And really, it turned out really good. You can see just what the frame looks like there, and it looks almost 100% like what would come out of the box. So let's go ahead and just start building this, and hopefully when we're done, we're gonna have a full-size Crouchy. So it's going to have to be back to the drawing board for these legs. Everything, as you can see, was working out great. I have him completely built, except for the head. And as soon as I went to put this big head on there, he wants to topple forward or backwards. These legs are not strong enough, like they want to bend when I put his heavy head on there. And I mean, really, this is the heaviest part of the entire prop. The midsection here is not bad at all. The hands are hollow plastic. They're like a blow mold. So nothing on here has very much weight at all. But this ginormous head right here is heavy enough to make him fall over. After much thought, I think I have found a solution. At least a temporary solution, so we can get him running right at the moment, because I do like these legs, but they definitely need to be strengthened. But for now, we're gonna fix it with this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're out in my front yard. This is like a garden hook that you hook a flower on. We're gonna build Crouchy, and we're gonna zip tie it to that thing so it will keep him from falling forward or backward. Yeah, I make Halloween videos for YouTube, so I'm like year-round doing this stuff. All right, there he goes. Okay, yeah, so there he goes. He's working. Like I said, he definitely needs to be strengthened in the legs if I just want to be able to set him up like just anywhere. But being outside, this was a simple solution, and you can barely even see the post behind him because it's black. That just sticks in the ground. I use the zip tie to zip part of the body to it, and it holds it up perfectly fine. He's not going anywhere. I got him turned down for the moment. The mailman was just here watching me do this. But yeah, you can see he's working perfectly fine. We have his legs built. They look pretty dang skinny though. So in addition to strengthening them, I will need to get like some pool noodles or something like that, and you know, kind of puff up those legs, maybe even puff up this part of him, his torso, because it's just so skinny looking. But there he is, enormous original Crouchy. I wish I had the young Crouchy set up right now. I'd bring him out here too, but unfortunately I don't, and I don't want to leave him out here for my neighbors to wonder what the heck is going on. Let's go ahead and get him turned up here though a little bit, so see if we can get him going again. Come on now, Crouchy. There we go. Yep, there he is. He is enormous, guys. Holy crap. Very cool. And also being outside here, I think it's so cool how you get to see his clothes like blow in the wind, and especially his hair, that big red fro blowing in the wind. Look at this. I also love how you can position his arms any way you want to. That looks so much better right there with his arms up in a scare position. That is hilarious. And look at the shadow down here too. Oh my gosh. That is awesome right there. There you go. Him moving and his shadow on the ground. And here's what he looks like from the back with this garden stick, whatever you call it, the plant holder. So his pants are not all the way around the hoop, and his shirt has to kind of be tucked down behind that thing. But like I said, for a temporary solution, and if you had this problem like on Halloween when you were trying to set up for trick-or-treaters, that would be such a quick, easy solution. Bringing Crouchy back to life from the dead. All right, guys, well, there you go. Thank you once again to Marcus for sending me this awesome Crouchy. He is so enormous and so absolutely awesome. Guys, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications, because we have lots of awesome stuff coming up, and we are only a few short months from the Halloween season. And just because I know you guys miss it, what are those?